10,000 Easterlings is the biggest force that you've ever seen. And you have lived long lives, Glendair and Denoriel, and even so, a host like this rarely comes along. They are spread wide across the plain of Helm's Deep, and you can see the various distinct camps and that they do look very different. You can tell at the center where the command tent is, that's where the Easterlings are, and that they have the most organized part of the camp. On the west, you can see the Wain Riders, who have like placed large wagons in the center and other chariots and things around them. A little bit more messy on the far east of the camp are the Haradrim, based around for Mumakil. Massive creatures that every time you see them seem bigger, and you've seen them before. So the orders have been given to the forces to do as they are bid, and as you sit atop your horses next to Arahad, as you'll be going down the center with the Knights of the Dunedain and the Dunlending warriors. Or anything you want to do before you drop your hand and start charging? Just give the order.
I think there's a bit of recap with the commanders for our goals, and the reminder to listen for the sound of the horn for our retreat to Isengard, because we must return to protect and strengthen it. And I think, yeah, there's the grim silence before the battle. We've all felt it before. But Anariel will look at those around her and give the order.
Yeah, so you give the order, and then Arahad turns to one of his men and gives the same order, and then that man bellows, a drill sergeant, this like brutal, incredibly loud, gravelly cry, and the knights will kick their horses and they'll begin moving forward. You can hear so many people moving, and you can see the Dunlendings walking behind you and around you. At a jog compared to the canter of your horses, they're moving quickly. And you can see the galadhrim have zoomed ahead, and the rangers behind them. Rangers are moving to like a ridge where they think that they can fire, and the galadhrim are moving incredibly quickly. The first noise you would hear would be the trumpet of a Mumakil as the Dunlendings from the eastern side unleash their first volley of spears. And inside Helm's Deep, I think you would be ready and armed and armored. You would know this would be happening, and you'd be in the on the Lord's level of the keep, looking out, and you would see sort of, as you would expect, maybe from Anariel, this like very well orchestrated, complex plan that's moving in different places at the same time. And the Queen will look to you, Faroth. No.
Faroth is looking into the distance, and her words sort of echo within his mind as if distant. He hears the words of someone else. Anariel, your priority cannot be the Rohirrim. Your priority must be the fate of Middle-earth. Rohan will live on in its songs and its people. You cannot put the lives of one group of men above the fate of the world. He turns and looks along the line to see the elderly and the young united in a mishmash of different bits of armor and scavenged weapons. And then Varel simply says, "Forward!"
The horn blows, and the assembled Rohirrim will open the gate and begin to move down the long winding path and across the plain. And you can see as you're riding with them that there is chaos in the camps ahead of you. The Easterlings were not expecting this to happen, clearly. Many of them sort of look in your direction at the sound of the horn, but you can see that there are bellows and like people running in different directions trying to figure out what's going on and what the best response should be. As we will first do a little skill challenge to get within fighting range, because if there's one thing the Eastlings have, it's an absolute buttload of archers. So you're going to need 4 successes before you get 2 failures. Try and pick some skills that make sense to you and try and get in there.
Should we do this in order?
Yeah, sure. I was going to say you should go first.
Let's roll the initiative anyway.
Okay.
And you can do it in that order.
Let's get that bad roll out of the way for initiative then.
Yeah.
And the Elvish 19 for Glendyre.
Elvish
An
19.
Elvish
19.
for me.
For the last few weeks, I've been rolling so badly on initiative in general, so I'm stoked with that 19.
Sorry, Paragons and I are on the same page here.
Okay. I'll just throw this in here and you can go through your skill challenge and I'll begin to add the endless enemy. So Glyndare, choose a skill that you think makes sense for this skill challenge. You're basically trying to ride across the plain. If you imagine there's like, must be half a mile, if not more, between you and the camp of empty ground that they've deliberately kept empty so that you can't sneak up on them. And as you're like riding all around you, there are knights of the Dunlendings around you and Arnor, as well as like the Dunlendings who are now running, sprinting, many of them with like 2-handed axes or blades, running next to and now shouting.
Yeah, Glendyre is spurred on even more as he begins to drop into that cold focus that he has, the battle focus, and in the peripheries of his consciousness, he notes just the speed and ferocity of these Dunlendings running, nearly keeping up with those charging on horseback, and these knights of Arnor, what a mighty force, and he's spurred on to keep up alongside the Knights of Arnor as they begin to charge forward and pull ahead. He spurs his horse on using athletics.
Go for it.
That is only a 13.
All right. Maybe this horse is not used to being surrounded so much by screaming men with axes and heavy barded horses, but nonetheless you're like trying your best, but you find yourself lagging behind, and as the first volley of arrows flies, one of them will graze you, and you will take 4 damage. You see that other arrows don't just graze but connect, one through some luck, they're just flying straight up into the sky, but one like goes through the faceplate, the eye slit of one of the knights, and he falls back off his horse, still in the stirrups. As you move forward, Faroth.
Faroth has been in a cavalry charge before, but this is unlike anything he's ever experienced. It feels like he's riding upon a wave of thunder. The Rohirrim behind him as he rolls 17 on animal handling.
Right, nice. Yeah, there's something about charging with the Rohirrim that's that like speaks to some part of your soul. There's like a real power there, and the force of it and the splendor of it is overwhelming, and you move quickly forwards. And Ariel.
And Ariel is watching the arrows doing her best to turn the horse and guide it, and following the knights and Glendair, we'll see. Oh my god, math. It is only 14 to try and avoid the horse in front of her, which has slowed as the rider is hanging from the stirrups limply. With perception.
Unfortunately not. There's too many people in your way and all around. And an arrow will find you as well and do 5 damage to you as another volley. Maybe they're focusing in this direction. And you can see, like, in the camp, that there is a woman dressed in finery with a crown upon her head, and she's bellowing orders, and people are moving as if there is like some magic to how her voice carries. They obey without question. Beragond.
Beragond is looking down at the earth, trying to find a good, watching the movement of the horses in front of him, watching the movement of the horses around him, and finding the right place to guide his horse, using perception to guide him. But there's so much earth and dirt kicked up that he only gets an 11.
Okay, yeah, so it's a difficult charge. The Easterlings are prepared more than you would have thought, and there's a great amount of arrow fire. Heavy. Every Easterling, every Haradrim, and every Wainrider has a bow. It's like central to the way that they do war, much more so than here in the West. And they are flying with amazing accuracy. You each take 7 damage from these volleys, and you can see that people are falling around you from this. Horses and people. One of the Dunlendings, like next to you, is struck in the shoulder, and he tumbles down, and all around people are falling. But you do make it across the plain, and you collide, whack, with the front of the Easterling forces, who have managed to, or tried to, rally as much as they can around this central point. From 2 different sides, you smash. And you will meet in the middle in this insane melee, or almost in the middle. So, Glendair, you're first. There are all sorts of warriors around you in different places, and the chaos of it is immediate and terrible. The noise is everywhere. People are shouting in 10 different languages, and spears, arrows, swords all over.
Yeah, as the charge neared the line, Glendair dropped, slipped properly into his battle fury, gripping the handle of his new sword, the elven blade with the dwarvish runes representing this alliance and the stand against the forces of Sauron. So I'll spend my bonus action to go into the battle fury, and I think, with attacking recklessly, he will start swinging into the lines as they crash. So, is there a named character that he could get to, or
any of these? Yeah, I mean, you can imagine it's all just this swirling melee. So whichever one you say is near you, and then the others that they say is near them. You know.
Okay, yeah. I think he would actually try and break through the line and try to get to the archers.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So you push through. Your horse like smashes several Easterlings who are trying to quickly get together and form a shield wall, but you ride through them towards the archers, who look quite worried. So the Haradrim archer, is that who you're going for? Or the skirmisher?
Yeah, the Haradrim archers, yeah. Ooh, so it's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
For the first attack, because I have multiple attacks actually. And that was a 7 on the die, so 14 damage.
Oof.
And then another 18 to hit, and that one's only 10 damage.
All right, well, that'll kill him. You rush up and you
Oof.
swing the sword. Whack! And there's a spray, and he hits the ground. Okay. Faroth, on the other side of this melee, you can see and hear the force of the impact on the other side, but it is dwarfed by the sound of the Rohirrim charge, which smashes with impossible power as it whack into the back of the Easterling camp. And again, you're running over and through all these people. It's big camp, and you're running all the way through. There's conveniently in some parts nicely laid out sort of squares so that it's easy to move through the camp, which has worked in your favor on horseback as you like smash into the camp.
It's absurd the amount of Easterlings and skirmishers that just fall beneath them. They tried to fall into a loose formation to receive the charge, but it didn't help them that much. Thanks, Faroth, as he takes his first 2 pre-rolled attacks against the skirmishers that spread out in that manner. The first attack is 23 and gets 17 points of damage.
Goodness.
Then the second one was 18.
18 hits as well.
For 12 points of damage.
Okay. Yep, that will kill him too. The force of the charge is unbelievable as like smash all the way through, cutting these skirmishers down around you. A swordsman from the east, tall, he has a plumed helmet. He rushes over and he's going to try and swing up at you, Glindair. As you're like insanely slashing down on one side, he sees his opportunity and will attack you. You attack recklessly, right?
What was that last question, sorry?
You attacked recklessly?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Then he will attack you. So that's a 23.
That'll hit.
And a 17.
The second one will not.
Okay.
AC 18.
Oh, 12 damage.
Boom.
So he finds your unprotected leg and will like slide his sword inside it. And that's it for him. The swordsman, the archer is dead, and Ariel.
Okay, so the swordsman and the archer are dead.
The skirmisher and the archer. Swordsman is still going.
Okay, the skirmisher and the archman are dead. Okay. So Anariel is on horseback, thundering in, and she's going to first fire an arrow. What does the Easterling captain look like as she attempts to shoot him?
He has this golden bronze armor that the Easterlings have, and this like flared crescent at the top of his helmet, and with like a banner sticking out of his back up high.
I'm going to say both of those are going to hit 17 and 19 on the dice.
Those will both hit. Yep.
And oh my god, math. I should have done this earlier. Apologies.
Okay.
It's like, how long has it been since I've done math in this game? 15, 22 damage all up for him.
Okay.
And if he still stands, I will use my which one is it? My good. One of my abilities, and call out to let's see who's next.
Baragon's next.
Baragon. When I have hit someone with a ranged attack, Baragon may move 30 feet and make a melee attack separate from his action.
Cool.
And so Anariel will see this plumed Easterling captain sink 2 arrows into him and see Baragon nearby and call out to Baragon.
And Baragon immediately on the call moves the 30 feet, and can he get within range of the captain?
Yep.
And he swings out at the captain, but only hits an armor class of 15.
No, he hears your call, Anariel, and so turns in time to see Beragond and will parry the strike. But now it's your turn, Beragond.
And then he it redoubles his efforts against this person, hitting an AC of 29 this time.
Yep, that's a hit.
And is there anyone else within 5 feet or not?
No, none of these are.
Yes, 8 piercing.
Okay, nice. Nice. So you strike down at the captain. He calls out something in his language, and then it is the axeman. He's going to rush over to try and protect the captain and strike at you, Barrett. 17 on the die plus 7, so 20.
Yep, hits me.
Okay. Rerolls 1's own damage next to the captain. 10 damage, 10 slashing damage from the axeman who slashes towards you. That was his first attack, and his second is a 16 on the die, which will also hit for 9 damage.
Okay.
And then the captain himself is going to call out to some allies. He's going to get the swordsman and the axeman to attack. So this swordsman will attack you, Glindar, recklessly. It's a 17 plus 7, so a hit.
Yep.
So 3 and 4, 7 damage. And the axeman misses you this time, Beragond. Then the captain is going to... nope, he's good. Top of the order, Glindar.
Alright. Sorry. Just taking that 781. So Glindar will, having charged through the line and beset the Haradrim archers, I think now he'll wheel around and see, is the Variag swordsman still up?
Yes, he is. Yep, he's attacking you.
Yes, sorry, that's the one. So yeah, crossing blades, he will try and take out this swordsman. Sorry, why am I rolling? I pre-rolled. I got a 21 and 22 to hit. I'm a lord. It's 5 a.m.
Yeah, no worries. That's a hit. Both hits.
So 15 and 10, so 25 total.
Okay, he's still up, but barely. 2 brutal strikes, and he's you've like smashed through his shield, and now he's just trying to fend you off with the sword. That was Glindar, so now it is Faroth.
Yeah, through the din and the turmoil, Faroth spots these Variag swordsmen sort of moving to support the captain, and he finds himself hacking his way through orcs, black blood flying all about him as he reaches one of those swordsmen for a 22.
Yep.
And a dirty 20 for his second attack.
Yep, 2 hits.
So that's 15 points of damage and then 13 points of damage.
Yeah, you slash him down, and you look at Glindar, who's been struck by this swordsman many times, and you can meet each other in the fray. The swordsman is dead, so Anariel.
Anariel shoots at this captain again. That'll only be a 15 to hit.
15 will not hit. Bounce
But
against his
both-
armor.
Yeah, I think the first probably bounces against his armor, and then perhaps the axeman is able to put a shield up or something for the second.
Yeah. Okay. Beragond.
Outnumbered, he starts fighting defensively and takes a dodge action.
Okay.
He stays where he is, but he's dodging.
No worries. The axeman is going to strike at you, Beragond, with disadvantage. 15
No.
and lower. Okay, so he misses you twice. You are fighting defensively, and he's unable to get any purchase on you. The captain is going to dead, huh? He's going to strike him. So he's going to strike out at you.
Very good.
Yeah, I think.
Aren't I the only one?
Yes.
Unless he's got a sort of throwing range or something.
Yeah, he's just going to go for it. He'll try and attack you. He'll miss. And he'll critically miss. So he misses the first one, and then the second one you parry it in a way, and he drops his blade as he loses his grip on it. And then he will try to run. So you can make an opportunity attack if you like.
Only a 16.
Yeah, scrapes against his armor, and he'll run into the chaos all around and try and avoid these luminaries of war. And you can see as he runs that in the chaos of that first charge, the Easterlings have begun to set up more defensive positions. And as you turn, you can see that there's a wall of Easterlings that have created a sort of phalanx nearby, and there are several heavily armored variags that have masks over their faces and big axes in their hands. And we'll move to attack. Glyndare, you're first.
Seeing these elite foes squaring up against them, without hesitation, Glyndare maneuvers his horse around and charges in to attack one of the Variag Oathsworn.
Okay.
And my pre-rolls were a crit and a 25, my lord.
Will both hit.
So it was a 17 and 15, so 32 damage total.
Okay.
And is there anything extra for the crit?
Yes, a D12 and a D20.
Oh boy. 3 on the D12.
Okay.
2 on the D20.
Yeah, you hit him with such force that he stumbles back 5 feet and then falls, trips over somebody behind him, a dead body, and will fall onto his back. He is 5 feet back and prone. The phalangites, these Easterlings, have these big, heavy, rectangular shields and spears ready to go. They're both gonna ready actions, and then it's your turn, Farath.
So Farath is going to probably spot the Variag Oathsworn, but I imagine where the battle is laid out, he probably isn't in as good opportunity to go for him as of yet. So he's going to start hacking through these phalangites, and he.
So as you approach, their readied actions will trigger. They'll both strike at you as you enter their range.
Sure. AC 19.
Okay. 2 hits, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness. It'll be 14 damage and 12 damage. These spears are long and they have a great reach, and as soon as you sort of get within their range, they perfectly efficiently strike at you. And then it's your turn.
Because they're readied actions, would that trigger revenge for Farath? Would he get an extra attack in addition to the ones I've rolled? So the 2 that I've rolled would be an 18 and a dirty 20 against them.
18 misses, but the 20 hits.
Okay, so that one does 14 points of damage. I'll just roll an extra attack for revenge, which is 19.
That hits as well. That's the number.
Spot on. Yeah, that's the number. Oh, max. 19 points of slashing damage on the revenge. Nice. As he's basically sort of dragging himself half up one of these pikes to get in range of them.
Yeah. As you hit, one of them will use their reaction to strike at you, as they have effectively the sentinel feat. And he'll try and smash you with the spear, but he'll miss. You're too close now to get a good strike. One of the guys in the back row is trying to get at you, but even so, you're able to avoid it. Then it's the Oathsworn who will stand from prone, rush forward, and try and cut the legs under your horse, Glyndare. He will use his Ariag Fury on this attack. It's going to be a 17 to hit your horse, which will definitely do it. $27 damage. So he will cut the two front legs off your horse. He has this like big, like he's holding it two-handed, and it's like a blade that's curved on the inside, sharp on the inside, and he like slashes, and the horse will tumble down to the ground. And I require you to make a dexterity save.
Oh my. Ooh. That's a 1 on the die.
All right, smash! You hit the ground, and you're prone. And as you sort of open your eyes, the blade is coming down on top of you to try and get you. It's a crit. Oh my god, it's a crit. Oh my god, very bad news. $30 damage. You have absorbed, do you, of some kind?
I'm just double checking that now. I think my armor. Yep.
Okay. I suppose you want to use that?
Yes.
Yep. So you won't get some terrible wound, but you will be hit very heavily. This weapon is unusual. Like I say, it's like a long blade, but it's curved and sharp on the inside, not on the outside. And he like basically hooked behind your horse and pulled, and so it severed the legs that way. That's it for the Oathsworn. Another Phalangite is going to strike out at you, Pharos, since you're the only target at the moment, but he'll miss as well with his first and with his second. Maybe you're too close to be hit. And Ariel, you see Glyndare go down. The horse screams as he goes, and then the blade comes down on top of him.
And Ariel shoots at this man with this incredible weapon. The first arrow goes wide, but the second one, I'm assuming, hits true. It's a 22.
Yes.
And as the arrow flies for 9 damage, she will begin closing the distance and will, seeing that Feroth is engaged, once again look around and call for Baragond. And Baragond, you may again use your movement and make an attack against this target.
You've killed that Oathsworn with your arrow.
Oh, I killed him?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then I won't have to do that one. And I will use my horse's movement and my movement to get off the horse and help Glyndare up if he's pinned.
Okay. Yep. Baragond, it's your turn. You can see that Pharoth has basically charged a wall of spears and somehow miraculously still lives, though Glyndare has been sliced from his horse and has been hit badly. And you can see behind this wall, further up the hill where the command tent is this this queen, you think. Definitely the leader of this army, and she's bellowing orders in different directions, and you can see in the distance that the Mumakil are going nuts. One has run off like in the direction of Isengard. 2 of them are running in this direction, which is problematic, and another one is running towards Helm's Deep. But that's what you wanted, to some extent, is for them to be trampling their own troops.
Eofred the Falcon has done his job well.
Yes, he has. It's your turn.
Anariel is with Glyndare, and the Oathsworn fighting them is so he'll rush up and take position just next to Pharoth, and
okay. You want to attack?
Are they within range of attack with these polearms or not? I mean, are they wielding polearms or should?
One of them will attack you as you enter their range as a reaction. But you can get in range after that.
Then I will use. No, I will just be fighting defensively and going dodging.
Okay.
We're supposed to stay alive.
In that case, it'll miss. The spear will come for you, but you'll dodge to the side, and you're able to get next to Farath.
And hopefully, they'll divide their attacks between the two of us.
Yep. Another Oathsworn. As you reach your hand down for Glyndar, rushes out screaming. He's going to try and slash at you and Ariel. And he will use his Fury to try and cut you in half. 20 to hit. Not natural. Yeah. Uh, 16 slashing damage from that strike. He slashes at your exposed arm and then misses the second attack. One of the Easterlings is going to try and stab at you, Beragond, as you enter the fray. He might actually hit you even with the dodge. A 16.
No. I decided I took a shield for this combat, which would give me an AC of 18 normally, but I'm not proficient with shields, so I don't know what sort of disadvantage that gives me.
I'll say you get +1 instead of +2 maybe from it.
Okay, I'll look it up because if that'd be enough to miss the attack anyway. But I think if it does, no, it will have given me a disadvantage. I'll have discarded the shield when we got past the arrow fire and got into close combat. Okay. So he'll hit me.
Okay. So then he will do 8 piercing damage from that spear strike. And we go back up to the top, Glyndar.
So the second strike from the Oathsworn against Anariel missed because Glindar's blade caught it, and he follows up with a slash after a brief moment where their blades are locked, and the Variag Oathsworn looks over to Glindar, and then just this cold elven fury upon his face, and he fluidly starts laying into him, and they're crossing blades some more. And I pre-rolled a crit and a 25.
Nice. Yeah, 2 hits.
So total damage is 28 plus 13, so 41 total damage.
Yeah, you'll kill him in 1.
Okay, great. So yeah, that's very cinematically. Anariel helps Glindar up, and then is beset by. Well, actually, I think she was beset as she was reaching to help him up. So, his blade catches the second attack after the Oathsworn actually strikes Anariel, and then it's just a couple of exchanged blows, and then just one clean thrust through the chest. I think dispatches this foe.
Okay, perfect. The phalanx is going to strike at you, Farath, many times. These 2 focused on you.
None of them are diverted to me.
The other 2 will, yeah.
Okay.
These 2 are attacking Farath. So it's going to be 19 and more than that, 20 something.
Yeah, those both hit.
So 5 damage from one and 11 from the other.
Okay, and I deduct 7 off those, right?
You've got an area near you, yeah.
Yeah, so. Perfect.
And the second...
I've forgotten that.
Yeah, you can do that as well. The second round of attacks, one will miss, but the other one will hit. This time for 9.
And that was against Beragond or Farah?
That was against you, yeah. So
okay.
They both have 2 attacks.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Okay.
One of the... So yeah, the Variag are slain. These 2 Oathsworn, I mean, they're still everywhere. And as we come into your attacks, Farath, can you roll me a d10, please?
Oh, a d10. Okay. Let's see. 4.
So as you are preparing to strike, there's this "kong," something hits against the owl helm around your head. I need you to make me con save, please.
Oh shit. Oh, it's pretty good. Hang on. 17.
Okay, you're fine. You would have been deafened and had disadvantage from the clanging against your helm, but you managed to shake it off, the worst of it. And then it's your turn.
Whew, okay, yeah. I think in response to the echoing of him being smacked across the side of the head, the horn of Hell Hammerhand rings out once again, and he attacks again. I pre-rolled once again for a 24 and a 21 against the Phalangites.
Yep, 2 hits.
So that's 16 and 13 points of damage, respectively.
That will kill one of them.
Yeah, he rears the horse to the side and swings his blade up into a mighty uppercut.
Okay, the final one will attack Baragon with advantage still. Yes.
Yep.
He'll miss you. He'll miss you twice. Then it's an Ariel.
Caius, dear, your camera's tilted.
Oh, sorry.
A particular area of your anatomy, guys. This is what I think of Easterlings.
Ariel, it's your turn.
So who just hit Glendair on the head?
All around, it wasn't good. It was
It was against me. Yeah.
Okay.
There's 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000
Okay.
people, and so he was trying to focus on one thing, but somebody was running by and just saw an opportunity and smashed him in the back of the head.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, before you start your turn, roll a d10, please.
Oh. 8.
As you go to move, this sudden pack of Variag warriors rush towards you. I need you to make me a strength save, please.
Ooh. $15.
Are you sure? Yeah, you're okay.
Mostly.
They rush into you, and 2 of them leap up and smash into your horse. But your horse kicks one of them in the head and is able to avoid being knocked prone. And so do you, and it's your turn.
Ooh. Ah, that's excellent. I love that. Adding that into the mix. Anariel sees Feroth fighting and will call out encouragement in Elvish. And Feroth, your next attack will do an additional 15 damage when you hit.
Whoa, thank you.
Nice. Okay, and Baragon, a d10, please, first. Oh, you're muted.
8.
8. So similarly, this heavily barded horse and rider rush towards you, and a spear is aimed for your horse. I need you to make me a strength save, please.
Yep. I get a. Sorry. $19. Oof.
Nice. You're able to move to the side, and he rushes past you and instead spears some other poor Rohirrim, and you are not knocked prone. And it's your turn.
He strikes out. Are any of the ones fighting us or Faroth injured?
There's one that's dead, but the others are all still fine. You're adjacent to Faroth now, so you can sneak attack.
He attacks the one next to Faroth and hits him for 28 points damage.
Whew, Jesus. Okay, he still lives, but barely. Glendair, a d10, please.
Lord. 5.
As you're about to strike, you see one of the knights of the Dunlendings a Barathond that you had grown to, or that you shared a dinner with last night, and he told a story about his home in Arnor that sort of touched you. You see him get run through with a spear. I need you to make me charisma save, please.
It's 8 on the die. Bo. Where's my saves? Okay, no, that's 9.
Okay, you have disadvantage on this round of attacks as you grasp of the horror that this man has died. You only just knew.
Okay, so that'll cancel out my advantage from the Battle Fury. So my pre-rolls, I'll throw them away. And so he had just dispatched this Variag Oathsworn that was besetting him and Ariel. And who's left? We've got the that initiative order. Some of them have dropped now. Just the Easterlings. Okay, yeah. So he'll now on foot. His speed and fluidity on the battlefield as he moves like black mist or a storm of steel comes into a different form of terror for the enemy, on horseback or no. He is a force to be reckoned with. And so he will, no, only 1 dice, not advantage. He will attack against one of the Phalangites. So that's first one's a 22 to hit for 11 damage.
Okay, that'll finish the one that Baragon had struck previously.
Excellent. And then if I've still got enough of my 40-foot movement left to move to the next nearest one, he'll do so. But be caught unprepared with a nat 1.
Yeah, they're ready for you, and the shield comes up, and you're unable to strike true. Varoth, a D10, please.
1.
A dex save, please.
Okay. That's good. Dirty 20.
Yeah, okay. As you're trying to move around here, you see one of the phalanxmen step forward and try to smash his booted heel down onto your foot, be able to step it aside, and you won't be slowed. And it's your turn.
Are any of the oaths sworn in range of me, or am I still locked in amongst
just
the
the
spears?
Easterlings remaining. They've been the Earthsworn have been taken out.
Oh, that was the last one. Okay. In that case, then he levels his attacks. First a 24, and then a dirty 20 seems to be my
2
favorite
hits.
number to do.
Yep.
The first attack with Anariel's voice echoing within him stokes his attacks to become more fierce. So the first attack actually has a total of 33 points of damage. The second being 14.
Yeah, that'll kill him. A strike knocks his spear to the side, and another severs his head. Okay. The remaining phalanxman will not flee. He's too well trained for that, and he will strike out at the elf among them, knowing them to be devils. Try and strike at you. It's a crit. Yeah. It's cursed. Used to be Faroth. 19 damage. And do you have another absorb?
My armor does have 2, but I feel like I've already used one before, and I think it needs repairing in order to get those back, right?
It's like a long rest. You'll fix it, so you're okay. You still have 1.
Okay. So that's both of them gone now, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 19 damage from that. The spear sails through the air and collides to the side of your head, and as he pulls it back, it goes through your shoulder and out to the side for a moment, and then it is Nariel. A D10, please.
And there's just the one
One guy
phalanxman left, right?
Yep.
That's a 1.
Okay. Can you give me a dex save, please?
Oh, cracked. Yeah, that's going to be at least a 17, maybe
Okay.
a little more.
You're fine. You're able to avoid as a horse runs by. It's going to run right into you, and you step back. It would have crushed your feet, but you're able to avoid it. And it's your turn.
Yeah, I think with this one phalanxman left, Anariel will launch 2 arrows as he is beset on several sides from her allies. One will definitely miss. The other will be a 17 to hit.
That will also miss.
Yeah, his shield catches it cleanly, and it bounces off.
Okay, Baragon, a D10, please.
7.
A dex save from you, please, as arrows rain down in your direction.
28.
Yeah, and not one of them finds its mark, and it's your turn.
He stabs with his dragon carved blade, reaching under and finding a weak point in the armor for a AC 26 and 23 points of damage.
Wow. He still stands, but barely, as you find and jam the blade into under his armpit. And then it's Glyndare. D10, please.
4.
Con save, please, as the spear comes back around and dings the side of your helmet.
You do have advantage on con saves from me.
Ooh, okay. Nope, that didn't help. 13.
Just one under, so you're going to be deafened. One round, thankfully, but you won't get any of Honoriel's ear things for this round then.
Oof. That's quite a big thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yep.
But then it's your turn.
Okay. So his head ringing, and the din of the battle just sort of being replaced by this, that you see in the movies, where it's like clearly the chaos is still going on, but it's just a woo as his head rings, and he looks around to see. He can see an Ariel there still shouting orders and defending herself and attacking, but he cannot hear her. And then we cut back just as he pulls up his blade to block a blow, and then try and lash back out, and he'll try and there's one Easterling left, isn't there, on our initiative? Yep. So attacking recklessly, throwing caution to the wind, he will try and take this last Easterling out. So that'll be a 13.
That's a miss.
Which will miss, and a crit, my lord.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you. Reckless attack. Okay, so that'll be 10, 18, 21 damage. Okay.
Yep, you finish him off. Tell me how.
I think it's in the poetic justice for the fate that befell his beloved horse. The unarmored part that he manages to slash down at is the leg. And he cuts one of the legs clean through just above the knee, and then when the foe's down on the ground, like screaming and grasping at the leg, he'll do one clean strike through the chest.
Yeah, as you do, you can look up and you can't hear, but you can see that there is this woman like at the top of this hill where the pavilion is, giving orders, and she's surrounded by what look to be pretty elite warriors. And you move in that direction. As you do, there is this like thunder as a Mumakil like rushes maybe 20 feet to your towards Helm's Deep in that direction, like past you, and you can see that there are like numerous men like on the tusks, and it's like swinging its tusks around, and there's just chaos. Like one of them flies overhead and lands on the other side of you. It's covered in spears that have been thrown by the Dunlendings, you assume. And as you look sort of for a moment, you can't hear, but you can see there is fire where the Wainriders are, like a great deal of fire. Their great wagons are aflame, and there's chaos over there. You can hear, or you can't hear, you can see. Okay. first one of these Easterlings, finely armored, not in the bronze of the others, but in some sort of silver shining armor, will move next to the Queen and ready in action. The Queen is going to
Is that Shadokt?
yes, Shadokht Alia Al Rahid, who is the Shah S, the Shadokht of the Easterling Empire. A princess, not quite the emperor himself, but extremely high ranking, and you can tell extremely proficient. She is going to simply take the dodge action this turn. The other royal bodyguard will move up to her and also ready in action. And Glyndare, it is your turn. Roll me a d10, please.
8.
As you're kind of moving in that direction and trying to move towards this juicy target, there's 3 Variags who are rushing in your direction, and one of them like leaps up and tries to tackle you to the ground. Make me a strength save, please.
Advantage from my Battle Fury. 17.
Yeah, you grab him and throw him to the other side of you and keep moving. It's your turn.
Yes, as he does that and keeps moving, grips his newly forged sword in both hands, and charges towards the Queen, flanked by these 2 bodyguards. He is not attacking recklessly, though.
Good call.
So that's something. But it is still probably a silly idea. So the first one will be
before
an
you
11.
Attack, they will both use their
triggered
readied actions to attack you. One of them will try to trip you with a 18.
18 AC, so that will hit.
Okay. So 7 bludgeoning damage, and you are knocked prone. The other one...
Can I hear an Ariel again?
That was the end of the round. Yeah, so you can.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
So as you he expertly puts the tip of his glaive between your legs and pulls, and you slip down, and the other one already moving, arcing overhead, slices down towards you. He will attack you with advantage, and he will get a 19. He will use Deadly Strike once a day. Any hit with a melee weapon against a prone enemy is a critical hit. He will do that. It'll be 15 damage.
Okay.
And you have no absorb left.
Correct.
Okay. Do you want to roll the fateful dice, or will I?
I can roll them. Yeah.
D12 and D20.
Quick math to take that damage first. 15 minus 7 is 8, and then halved. Okay, so 4. D12 and D20. 11 on the D12. I don't know if that's good or bad. And then 12 on the D20. Oh, shit.
Could be bad.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
So as you fall, the glaive comes down over your face, flashes through your lip, slicing through the center of your lip and tearing them apart as if they have been unzipped. You are bleeding heavily, and you'll need a wound check, a wisdom check before the end of the day, or you will gain a hideous scar. So just sliced right through your face, basically. Maybe one of your teeth as well comes out, and you will take damage at the start of each of your turns.
Oof. Can I, because it's still my turn. Oh, no, yeah, I haven't made my attack yet. This was triggered.
So that was their reactions.
Cool, okay. Whew. So, yes, okay, so I'll roll my attacks. So I'm prone though, so do I have enough movement left of my 40 feet to stand up, or
yes,
will I have
definitely.
to use it? Yeah, okay, cool.
You use half your movement to stand
I'll do that. Yeah, cool, okay. So, 24 to hit for the first one.
Against who? The Queen? for the bodyguards?
Yeah, I think probably he's probably trying to punch through and take out the queen.
Okay. One of the bodyguards will use a reaction to swap places with the queen, so you hit him instead.
Cool. Okay, that'll be 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
And the second attack, that's a hit, 25, and that's max damage, so 17 damage.
Is that attack also at the bodyguard or at the queen?
That would be against the guard that he hit with the first one, yeah.
Yep. All right. So 2 successful strikes, smack into this bodyguard, through the armor, the holes in the armor. That was Glendair's turn. You hear this scream of Erlingus, and then this is whack as a armored horse smashes into the side of one of the bodyguards, and one of the Rohirrim will attack, and he will hit with his lance. Okay. You see the bodyguard on the other side of the queen is speared by the lance and knocked prone onto the ground as he runs past, or rides past rather. Okay, and that was Eohelm. Faroth, D10 please.
Yes, that's right. 7.
Can you make me a dex save please?
Oh, yes. 21.
Yeah, arrows are firing with more precision here, not sort of aimlessly firing towards the queen, but nonetheless, none of them connect with you. And
Yeah, I think he's able to pull like an Easterling in front of him, and that again gets peppered with arrows. He's seen Glendair just get smashed in his attempt to press towards their leader, and I think Faroth's going to do the same to support him. First of all, he's going to move towards the leader first of all. I don't know if they have any reactions left to attack me as well.
they do not.
We used up on him, bless him. So he's going to attack the leader with a 24 and a 21.
Right, they don't have they have a reaction not to attack you, but one of them still has a reaction to swap places with
Well,
her.
that's fine, yeah, sure.
So you'll hit
sure.
him instead, but yeah.
Okay, 24 then hits him for 17 points of damage.
Okay.
21 was the second attack, sorry.
It's a hit as well.
For 13. And as a bonus action, as he pulls the second strike through this Easterling, he's going to yell, "These lands are defended in the name of Anarion!" And he does Royalty Revealed, which gives 8 points of health back to whoever's around me. Not much,
Okay.
but something.
Yep, nice.
And the foes around me must make a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw or be frightened.
So the presence of the first spear means that they have advantage on Wisdom saving throws against being frightened, but even so. The first guy fails. The bodyguard will fail. The queen will succeed. The second bodyguard will fail. The first spear succeed, and the last bodyguard crit. Okay, so 3 of the bodyguards are frightened, and you can see them sort of like step back involuntarily from the wave. Okay, that was Faroth. The first spear. This is he has this like ornate helmet and this shining silver armor and this beautiful work of art of a spear that he holds with impressive malice in his hand. He's going to strike out towards you, Faroth, thinking he could kill a king. So he will get a 22.
Yeah.
A miss. And a crit. Uh, 12 for the first. $26 for the crit.
Ah.
You got any absorb?
I do. I have 2, so I will spend one of my absorbs on that to stop the effect. But savage attack.
He
from the
also will
spear.
use his ability called the First. That with this strike, there's this unusual sort of like woof, something is happening, maybe something magical as he strikes you, and you will take an extra 22 thunder damage. And I need you to make a con save, and you, Glindair, or else be knocked prone.
Jeez.
You both have advantage on con.
Thank
my
you.
God.
Thank
That's
you.
something.
What was the extra thunder damage first of all? It was
22.
22. Okay. -7. Like that means anything. No, it does. I'm not being sarcastic. And a con save with advantage. Okay. Oh, okay.
21 for my con save.
Okay, that's good.
16.
16 is enough, exactly the number you require.
Oh,
So you're not knocked prone from the force, but you can feel that there's something in this weapon that is maybe akin to the kind of weapons that you use. And then you can hear this like high-pitched like ululation as Queen Morwenna rides into the battle with an axe in her hand, and she's going to slash at the Queen, who's no longer protected because every bodyguard has stepped in the way to try and protect her so far. So she is on horseback, so she's an advantage. She'll miss that one. All right, so Morwenna rushes into the battle and swings this finely made axe down at the Queen of the Easterlings. The royal bodyguard standing by her side is going to strike out at you, Glindair. With a 23 to hit.
That'll do it.
That'll be 9 slashing damage. Oh, no, sorry. That's not right. He's going to try and trip you first.
Do I need to roll opposed or?
Yes. Strength save, please.
21.
Okay. So you take 9 bludgeoning, but you're not knocked prone from the trip. He will still strike out with the other half of his glaive, but he'll miss that. Anticipating that you would fall, it comes overhead and you're able to block it. That was the bodyguard. Honoriel.
D10.
A D10, thank you.
9.
Make me a dex save, please.
Oh boy. Ooh,
get advantage on those, right?
no.
Oh.
She doesn't get her own stuff.
Yeah, and you guys only get them on con and wisdom. No, that is only going to be 9.
Okay. You don't notice that someone has crept up behind you and they strike out at you and like clang side of your shoulder and you lose your balance. You won't have a reaction this turn, and the next attack against you has advantage.
Honorio feels that, and perhaps she's like driven to one knee by the force of the blow. But even so, she will call out to the others, Ani Galad for the light. And all of you can roll your hit dice, roll 1 hit dice as a reaction, and add that plus 5 back to your HP.
Nice.
As you are reinvigorated.
Okay, Paragon, a D10, please.
10.
Can you make me a dex save? Of course you can.
Possibly not. I mean, we'll see. Nope, I got a 10.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I rolled a 1.
So you see a spear flying towards you and like step out of the way. The next attack against you has advantage. You open up an opportunity for someone else.
Okay. He carries on moving anyway. He's slightly off balance, but he carries on moving, heading for the royal guard that's prone on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And stabs down at him, hitting an AC of 21.
Yep.
For 27 points damage.
Wow, that will finish him.
Yep. He sees the opening, and then he'll move back out of immediate melee range with his bonus action disengage.
Okay. Paragon. Okay, the Queen. Because one of her bodyguards is dead, she will command one of the others to fight harder. And if he hits this critical hit, and he is going to strike it at you, Faroth. That'll be
As a reaction, I get 10 points plus my. No, it was a D10, wasn't it? I've got to roll the D10. Sorry.
Right.
I realise I need to do that before I get hit. That's good. So +5 was it, Taylor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Please continue.
That's all right. As a reaction.
I just panicked. I just suddenly remembered.
It was like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like my face down trap card. Okay, that's going to be a 22 to hit, which I think will do it.
Yeah, it's going to hit, yeah.
And so because one of the bodyguards is dead, this will be an automatic critical hit.
Oh, God.
Going to be 19 damage.
Jeez.
Got any absorb left?
It's my last. Yeah, I had 2, so that's my last one gone.
Okay.
19 points of damage. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, Faroth is not looking good at all. In fact, yeah, there's nothing else to say. He looks awful.
Then on her, as her action, she is going to command that they strike, and 2 allies can make attacks using their react. Will be the bodyguards. One of them. No, the first spear and the bodyguard. The first spear is going to strike out at the Queen of Rohan. 3 attacks. He hits 2 of them. So he strikes at the horse on which she is sitting, and the spear goes in through a gap in the barding, and the horse will tumble onto the ground, and he brings the spear overhead and slashes it down at her. And we'll wounded, certainly. That was her turn. The bodyguard, he is going to strike out at you, Baragond. He'll move.
Is he moving forwards?
Back, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then he will strike out at you, Glindair. He will try to trip you. 18 on the die, so a definite hit. I need a strength save from you, please.
Ooh, 13.
You are knocked prone. You take 7 damage, so you won't take any. And then he's going to swing overhead and try and strike down at you with his deadly strike. 13 plus 8, which I think will hit.
That's a 21, so yes.
So he'll crit you. 18 damage. Last 7. You want to roll the fateful dice?
And then halved, which will be 5. Yes, I shall roll. I'll do that first, and then take my 5 damage. 5 on the D12, and 17 on the D20.
Oh, it's so bad. Okay. So you bring up your blade to parry, and the strike does not hit the blade, but instead your hand, neatly severing 4 fingers on your hand. You lose a hand. Effectively.
Oh.
I think even in his battle fury, I think he roars in pain at that.
That's rough. Look.
Good thing his sword can be used one-handed as well. Versatile, baby.
Eohelm, it's your turn. Is that right? No.
Glinda's turn, yeah. So he will, Taylor. He will Oh, actually, am I bleeding at the start of my turn from my face being sliced open?
You are.
You said something about that.
Yeah, you'll take 5,
Okay.
but
Oh, okay. It's nothing for. Yeah. Yeah, if you're happy for that to be.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Cool. So he will get up and in his one good hand pick up his blade and turn his attention to this first spear. He'll look back to see where Anariel and Faroth and Beregond are and see how they're doing, and then and yeah, it's one of those moments like Elrond in the prologue where he looks over just for that moment in the battle and then returns to fighting.
You see horror in our faces as we see your face.
Yeah, he'd be covered
you probably
in
wouldn't even be that aware
blood.
of it, I think, Lindare. Like, you wouldn't feel it in the same way, but it
no.
looks gruesome. Like, it's a cut from, like, the right cheek across both lips and then down over the jaw, and it's, like, open, you know? Like, it's...
Yeah, you have
to use some elven glamour to hide that, like Thranduil with the dragon fire or something. But
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And so, I mean, seeing the state that he's in and the foes by whom he's beset, you'd be forgiven thinking this will be his end, but he's determined to not make it so. Well, the first one will be a miss. That'll be an 11 to hit.
Yep.
The second, oh God, will be a miss as well. That'll be 13.
Okay, yep. Understandably, having just lost 4 fingers, you might not be at your best fighting spirit. And the first spear is also a superlative warrior who moves like you in a way, like the same kind of quickness and speed. There's something about him that's not quite human. You think something special. Okay, that's going to be Glindare's turn. Eohelm once again will charge in, and he's going to try and knock down this first spear. So he's advantage because it's first back. That's a crit. That's good news. And a hit. Will somebody roll me a d12 and a d20?
I got a 12 and a 19.
Oh my goodness. It's going to be good news for you guys. 12 is the head. Okay, so the lance, as he rushes
Glad
in...
that was on him then, and
Yes.
not on me. I pre-rolled one, and it could have gone either way. Whew, I feel better for that.
So the lance comes through, and it catches him basically in the mask that he wears, and like knocks it aside. He basically severing his nose and a bunch of his face. He screams. He's knocked prone. And blood is pouring from his face. He is in bad shape. Okay. So Eohelm comes in and smashes the lance into the face of this first spear, who is knocked into the ground, and you can see that like he's face down on the ground, and there's some sort of choking noise. Faroth, D10, please.
Of course, yeah, D10. 5. I think I've got that one before, haven't I?
A charisma save, please.
Oh,
This makes it. You see the terrible wounds that Glindare has taken, and you fear for his life.
17.
Okay.
15 on the die.
You're able to push it down and not dwell on it, and you're able to attack as normal.
And he does. The spear is still going, right? The first spear.
That's right. Still going. He's on the ground. He's basically incapacitated. He's choking at the moment.
Yeah, I've pre-rolled. The first attack he swings down upon him is a 17, so I'm not sure if that's going to hit him or not.
You have advantage because he's prone.
I'll re-roll that one then. That will probably hit 23.
Yep.
I'll roll the damage for that one first. That'll be 13 points of slashing.
Okay.
The second one, which I won't roll advantage on, was a crit.
Okay, nice.
Good
God, this poor man.
So as the spear's gone down, Faroth has spat blood from his mouth being thrown across the battlefield by this guy, comes back and drives his sword back at him for 34
Jesus.
points of slashing damage with the crit.
Okay.
And I can't remember, is it D12?
D12 and D20, yep.
D12 and
You'll
D20, that's
add
it.
1 to the D20 because he's already been crit.
Still alive?
Not for long, don't worry.
I was like, die.
Yes.
The D20 is a 2.
Okay.
D12 is an 11.
Gonna be pretty minor. Oh, he's not prone. He's already prone.
So he's getting back up, and Faroth
Yeah,
kicks him
yeah.
hard in the chest as he stabs at him.
You
Sure.
can see as he tries to rise that he has pointed ears and is in fact an elf kind. From the east. That was Faroth. The first spear is going to try and make a save to save his life. He fails. He can't breathe. His nose has been severed in the blood. He is choking on it. And he rides on the ground for a moment and then moves no more. Queen Morwenna is going to strike down at the Shah of the Easterlings. Oh, she has no horse anymore. All that. Yes. Hit. So the two queens are battling, you can see. And Morwenna connects with her axe into the side of the Al Rahid. Winna, the royal bodyguard who's still 2 of them left. This guy is going to strike again at you, Glindair, thinking he might be able to finish you off. So,
Is this one of the scared ones? Have they got over their fear?
are scared to disadvantage. Yeah, this one does. A miss with the trip, and a miss with the attack. So he tries to move forward, but there's still a fear in him as he tries to move towards the source of the king of men and finds it difficult to move. And he'll miss you twice. Noriel, a D10 please.
Ten.
Make me a deck save.
3. No, I'm not gonna make that one. It's 3 on the die.
So there's a strike that comes forward, and as you sort of try to dodge out of the way, you open yourself to further attacks and attacks again. Next attack.
I think Anoriel is also focused. She will fire 2 arrows into this heated melee between queens. The first is going to be an 18 to hit. The second is not. Much lower.
You're firing at the queen.
Yes.
Remaining bodyguard will interpose himself, so you'll hit him instead.
Fine. Does an 18 hit him?
Yes. Oh no, it doesn't. It's a 20.
Yeah, okay, I didn't think that would hit.
So he steps in the way and smashes it to the side with his glaive. That's what they're for. They're bodyguards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baragond. D10, please.
5.
You two see that Glindair seems to be close to death. His face is ruined and he's missing fingers on one hand. Can you make me a charisma save, please?
17.
You too, maybe men are made of stern stuff or they don't care that much about Glindair. Either way, you're able to push it down and you can fight as normal.
Yes. He moves up to... is the bodyguard frightened or...
Yes.
He tries to stab the bodyguard, but some sort of instinct gets in the way and he's unable to do it and he pulls back out of the way. Even though he's got advantage, he misses.
Okay.
He's fighting fairly poorly today.
Okay, the queen is going to command her bodyguards to protect her. And since the first spear has died, she gets a point of tactician, and so she's got to turn the next hit into a critical hit. So one of the royal bodyguards is going to strike at Morwenna. And he will hit a 17 plus 8. Hit her. We roll me a d12 and a d20, please.
10 and 14.
These guys and fingers. Again, a strike at the hand, and 2 of Morwenna's fingers are severed from her hand, and she drops the axe that she holds. And then her action, the queen's action, will be to cause her to. She'll strike out at Morwenna herself. Missed twice. She can't get through the heavy chainmail that Morwenna wears and is unable to strike. This bodyguard is going to strike out at you, Glindair, unfortunately. He misses the trip and he misses the attack. So you're able to dodge. You're getting used to his fighting style now. It's sort of predictable. It's very effective, at least initially, and most foes would have been dead by the time that they copped onto it, but you are made of sterner stuff. The end of his turn, and now it's yours. You take 6 damage from bleeding, but it doesn't matter because you've got superpowers.
Yes, and it's a 1 on the d10.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Sorry, the battlefield.
A deck save, please.
Hey. That one's not at advantage. 10.
Okay, a horse, riderless, runs and rams into you. You are knocked prone and your movement is halved until the end of this turn.
Ooh. So, okay. Caught off guard, he will, and obviously disoriented a bit by the wounds he's sustaining, he will spend the remaining half of his movement to stand up and then use the dodge action. No, sorry. That he wasn't going to do that. I only just did that because of the horse. But no, I think he would still get up. But is he adjacent to the queen or only her bodyguard?
Also to the queen, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he would get up and make some attacks at her. Which we'll see what the bodyguard does. But the re-rolls were 20 and 23 to hit.
And he used his reaction to attack. I have an XX who hasn't got a reaction, so go for it. Yep, those are 2 hits.
Great. So 24 damage against the queen then. The Shah Dahlia al-Rahid.
She's in bad shape. Those 2 strikes stabbing deep into her, and she lets out a scream of pain. Glindair. Eohelm, now in the battle himself, drops his lance and will take out an axe. And he will strike at one of the bodyguards. And he crits him. D12 and D20, please, from someone.
A 5 on the D12 and a 3 on the D20.
He hacks down into the forearm of the bodyguard, who drops his glaive onto the ground. Okay. Eohelm, Faroth.
Faroth is pressing his way towards the Shah-S now that the first spear is done with. And he definitely misses with his first attack. He basically will just try and lance forward with his blade, but it's just deflected by the chaos. The second attack is a 25 against the Shah, doing 15 points of slashing damage.
Barely standing, but still standing. That was Faroth. Morwenna bleeding. She is going to. She's the queen of Rohan. She's not going to run away. She'll strike. with her axe. But missed both times. I guess losing some fingers will do that to you. She tries to strike at the queen, but is unable to do so. The royal bodyguard is going to strike at you, Faroth. Try and trip you. Ooh, with a 18, so make me a strength save, please.
18 doesn't hit.
Oh.
19 is my AC. I
Then
don't know if that...
never mind. Yep.
Okay, cool.
He will then try and strike you with the glaive anyway.
Mm-hmm.
With another 18, that's crushing. No dice. So he barely misses you both times. And that's the end of his turn. Anariel.
Anariel calls out to Feroth and Glendair, urging them to strike, and you may both use your reactions. I'm going to spend 2 of my warlord dice to allow you both to make an attack against the queen.
Very well. Let's see. Hopefully it's a good one.
Mine shall be reckless.
Yes.
23.
23.
You hit.
Hey.
Can you choose to be reckless now?
If it's a basic, I don't know.
I think so.
Only on your turn.
Oh no,
Only
yeah, that's
reaction.
on your turn. You decide. Yeah, no, that's fair. So I will re-roll with just 1 dice. That's fair. Oh, yeah, that's still good. So that's a 25
Yep.
to hit.
Good.
12
gets
damage.
16 points of damage.
All right. So between the two of you, take her down.
Oh,
I think Faroth will probably set Glendair up for this revenge. So as Faroth sort of like climbing over the masses of bodyguards that surround her, he's able to leap forward once again. The words of Anariel inspiring him forward. And he manages to get a glancing blow at her side, which opens her up to Glendair's final attack, which is...
yeah, final strike. Which would be, I think, a thrust from behind or from the side in the opening that Faroth creates. So, yeah, and her eyes go wide as you're engaged there with her, Faroth, as the blade probably comes through from behind and through the front. The armor on her chest, and then the blade slides back out and she drops to her knees and
He screams loud and long, and as the bodyguards look on in horror and break, they're not looking at her, they're looking up, and the scream becomes a shriek, and the clouds are dark, and something huge lands at the command tent. And atop it is one of the 9. This strange design mask, unusual. It sort of mirrors the crown that she wore. There's some similarity there, as he speaks some Easterling language, and rather than like getting off the beast he's on, he sort of like vanishes and rematerializes on the ground in front of you. And we're going to take our break before we get into this. there's a high-pitched shriek that seems to pull at your very soul in some way, as this creature of shadow and shroud materializes on the ground. This like long spear like materializes in its hand, wreathed in shadow, and in the other there's a short triangular blade, and you've seen them before, many of you. This is a Morgul blade, and they hurt. And, like, looks around at the chaos of the battle, and then it seems to like twitch its head to the side and like look towards Isengard, like it senses something, and then be ready to attack you. So it's up to you guys to decide what you want to do. If you want to run, we can do that, or else we're rolling initiative.
Glinda would, looking up, seeing this foe once again, while wondering if it's the same one that chased them from Methadras to Isengard. He thinks he feels some recognition looking up at this creature, and he turns his eyes away from it down to the ground and sees the spear that this very proficient foe, this elf from the east, was wielding. And he sheathes his newly forged sword and picks up this spear, and sort of hefts the weight of it, spins it, and sort of looks back up, judging whether, if one good throw, if he could take out this great lieutenant of the enemy. Yeah, I think he hesitates as he remembers the plan, and looks back around to see which of his companions are around him. And of course, there's still chaos going on around us, right? Like some of the immediate enemies are sort of fleeing from the Nazgul.
It's like all dampened. Like it's almost like you're in a separate place. You can like see people running, and you can hear distant shouting and screams, but it's as if it's far away. You are somewhere else almost when you're near this thing.
What does he see of his companions?
I think absolutely mirroring that description. You see the blurred movements of individuals rushing past, trying to get away, and Farroth is watching this servant of the enemy, sort of facing them down, and he will not move in. He will not rush this encounter with the Nazgul to buy as much time for their allies to get a head start. So, if anything, he is just sort of wiping blood from his blade and sort of rounding his shoulders and acting as if he's getting ready to fight this thing.
As has happened quite frequently before, you don't know where Baragon's gone. Well, do you want to make a perception roll?
A bit busy at the moment.
It's a crit. It's a crit, my lord. But still, that might not do it. That'd be a 26.
Oh, that might well be enough. Yep. You do catch sight of Baragon sort of having disappeared in the crowds of people panicking and things like that. But he's obviously not panicking. He's just trying to lose himself in the crowd, making his way towards one of the Mammokill.
Too much hesitation. Let's roll initiative.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think Glinda, he sees this as potential opportunity, in fact, as terrifying as it is. Our primary objective here was to weaken the enemy as best we could, and this foe will, if not defeated here, will join the forces besetting Isengard. So I think that is why he hesitates. And he and seeing Beregond catching a glimpse of what he thinks is Beregond moving over towards one of the Mumakil, he sort of nods to himself for similar reasons. These things equally, if they can be taken out here, then all the better.
I think in this strange, almost dampened bubble, it feels slow motion as Anariel looks around. Does Arhad live, or did he get cut down?
Yeah, he's still. You would see outside of this like immediate area, like they're still fighting. There are many royal bodyguards and like elite soldiers, and there's like the knights are still fighting like within view.
Anariel blows the horn, and if Arhad looks to her, she just tells him to go. We will follow. And then she will turn back around towards this Nazgul.
Okay. It moves with impossible speed, vanishing, and then reappearing next to one of the elves. Next to an Ariel. And it will strike with its spear. 22 and 25 to hit. We'll just about do it.
Yes. I have at this point pulled my glittering shield out, which gives me a 21 AC with my helm against wights and Nazgul or undead. So I think this guy qualifies.
Going to be 19 necrotic damage. Max. Okay. Yep, that's the end of its turn. Eohelm is going to try and move towards it, and you see he kicks the horse forward. But as he like comes near it, it's almost like he's repelled by something. And he has he like at the last moment sort of hesitates. He tries to strike, but will do so with disadvantage because he's frightened. He'll miss both times as he attempts to strike at it. It moves amazingly quickly, and he's also clearly very afraid. Faroth.
Faroth is frozen to the spot as he watches the Nazgul vanish from before him, only to appear by Anariel and striking her. Frozen to the spot, it's like he can't move, just the panic of this new foe arriving. And blinking, he realizes that a source of light upon his arm begins to glitter and gleam. The horn of Helm Hammerhand sounds in the deep one last time. And with a cry across the valleys, a spectral white light shines. And it's almost as if you can see the rearing shape of a powerful stallion moving its way across the slopes directly towards the Nazgul.
Rad. This is the armband?
This is the armband, and it is seems to have called forth a sort of spectral version of Ciaro.
Amazing. Okay. Parse this.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Do whatever you want with that. It's basically to buy him time so Anariel isn't set upon by this Nazgul, so we can make our escape. This is suicide. We need to go.
Okay. I love it. I think like from the stream and the noise of the horn, this like spectral horse appears, a symbol of Rohan, and rushes towards it. And as it like raises its blade to dive into your shoulder, Anariel, it like turns at the last second. You hear this like hiss and shriek. Can all of you make me a wisdom save?
How far is Baragon still within range, or?
And do we still get advantage, or because this is a new combat, has that stopped? Was it wisdom saves we got advantage on?
You do get advantage on wisdom from me.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, you can have advantage. You are still within range, Baragon.
Okay, I get a 19.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
16
13.
with advantage.
23.
Okay, if you got below 18, you will take 17 psychic damage, and you will move a step down this corruption. We'll do that after the battle. You'll get gain a corruption from this power of that shriek. You are frightened of the Nazgul. But then this horse smashes into the fell beast. Camel, the Easterling, vanishes and reappears on its back and tries to take off, but the power of the armband and the spirit of Rohan like smashes it onto its back, and there's this tumble of wings and claws and smoke, and you are given a momentary respite.
Away, away! Faroth bellows, immediately wheeling his steed round and attempting to get as many people out as possible in this break.
Yep, so you'll each have 2 turns. If you want to leave the battle and like run from this, you can do that, and we'll sort of do it narratively instead. But if you want to keep fighting, then you'll have 2 turns to ready yourselves and do what you want to do.
Okay, real quick. Is the Nazgul the wingy thing?
No.
Or is it the dude?
The Nazgul is Kamul. The wingy thing
Kamul.
is the fell beast. It's not in the initiative order because he was intent on fighting you alone.
Okay.
What do you want to do, guys? You want to leave the battle
sorry.
and run?
Would Baragon be the next in the initiative order?
Yes.
He'll be rushing through the sort of chaos and panic of the camp. This is the besieging, so he's looking around for rope and a grappling hook to help that they may use to get over the walls of the that the enemy army might have used for attacking the walls or anything like that. As he's rushing through in the direction of the Mammokill.
Sure. Yep. If you run through the siege camp area, you'll find all sorts of useful things like that.
Yep. And he finds that and goes in the direction of the Mammokill, and he picks it up, dashes towards the Mammokill, and as he gets close, he pulls off the. As he gets close, he assumes that everything else is sort of fleeing in front of it, and he's one thing that doesn't flee for a second. He tries to attract its attention. He makes sure he's between it and the fell beast, the Nazgul, and he looses an arrow at it while sort of standing alone and trying to attract its attention and get it to charge him.
Okay. Make me an attack, please.
Okay. He gets
I almost think it's like attacking a structure, so you can actually have advantage. I don't know how you could miss a shot against them.
okay, 24.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really planning on doing damage to it
yeah.
or anything like that. It's just to sort of attract its attention and get it to attack.
Yeah, it's currently like mid-swing, and you see it like smashes one of the scorpions that the Easterlings had built in the siege camp, and then the arrow hits it like behind the ear, and it like turns into your direction. And as you say, everything else is running away from it, and you're running towards it. And its great eyes lock upon you. It raises itself up and trumpets, and then is going to run after you.
Excellent. Shall we resolve the chase on my next turn?
I think so. Yep. Glindair.
Glindair is intent on. He's facing off against this foe. As he looks behind to hear the horn and the commands calling for a retreat. The retreat that was planned, but this creature showing up was not planned.
You'll see that Arahad is breaking off their attack and that they're wheeling away in tight formation. These knights are capable of real feats of horsemanship. And they start to pull away, and you can see even the Dunlendings hearing the horn. Most of them are pulling out and away and moving towards Isengard.
Good, he thinks. Such forces are needed there. Far more. And what chance do they stand if this creature harries them along the way? He calls out to Anariel. Anariel! And you see in his face that he means to stay and keep this ancient enemy occupied while the rest of the forces flee. And he calls out with, you see his ruined face. He's holding this spear in one hand because the other is missing fingers. And he just calls out with peace in his voice. Kigolthanin iminowath buinthel. Ti Daphnin maeth sen good. You taught me the way of war, dear sister. Now let me face this foe for you. And then he turns with a lingering look and turns towards and charges towards the this ancient enemy to try and keep it occupied long enough for everyone else to get away.
Ariel. Turn.
Damn it, Glendair. Absolutely not. He's next to me, this Nazgul, yes?
Not exactly, no. So when the thing hit, he like tried to get back on the fell beast and take off, but it collided. So they've like rolled, like the force of the impact rolled the beast and him. So they're a movement away.
Damn it. Anariel will use her movement to reach her brother and grab him by his good hand and begin pulling. You cannot stay. You cannot stay. I need you. And I'm going to try and drag his butt away from this because Anariel cannot live without him.
All right, opposed athletics, please.
Oh, golly. He's in his battle fury, so
I know, there's just no way.
That's athletics as well. So that's a 23.
Oh no, I got a 12. Yeah, so Anariel is pulling against you, and it's like wind against a mountain. There's no movement.
Yeah, but I think he would he would stop and turn to face you and respond to your pleas to say that he cannot stay. He would say, "I must, you cannot. Think on what you said to King Faroth. They need you at Isengard in the final stand. If this foe," he points with the spear that he's just picked up from this enemy Easterling, points towards the Nazgul. "If this foe is there commanding the forces of the enemy," he just shakes his head. "But you must be there to help command the forces of light." And he just puts I think he'd, because the Nazgul's not right next to us, is it?
No.
You said it's like 2 turns, it's like approaching, yeah.
Yeah.
So he just sticks the spear into the ground, or probably into a body down at their feet, because it's just probably littered with them where they're standing, and puts his good hand upon her face, and just says in Sindarin, "You must flee. We will meet again."
She puts her hand to his ruined face. Will plant a kiss upon his cheek. My heart shall weep until I see you again. Thorin. And she will go.
Yeah, and he looks long after her, and then nods resolutely and picks up the spear and resumes his charge. Oh, well, I assume the Nazgul is like just walking menacingly towards him, and so he turns and returns the approach.
Faroth.
I think Faroth was making his way over to effectively try and move Anarl himself away, seeing what Glindair is about to do. Looking upon the Elven Warrior, he can see that this is indeed what he intends it to be, his final stand. And he's going to hold a hand out to Anariel to pull her up to the back of his saddle so they can ride.
Okay. You can get atop the horse and join the knights as they run from this place. Where Beregond is, you have no idea in the chaos of the battle, though you can hear thunder moving towards you as Arahad and the knights of the Dundine, as well as like many of the Dunlendings, start to run from this place towards Isengard. And you can see the galadhrim in like perfect unison and perfect formation, like doing Parthian shot like over their shoulders as they are firing at anyone who would dare follow. Beregond. You're running, and the largest creature that exists in Middle-earth, most likely, is chasing after you. It's thunderous, and its legs are 20 feet apart, so every step it takes is enormous. How are you outrunning it?
He's not planning. He knows he can't outrun it. He's watching its sort of how it swings its head and watching everything, and just trying to time the movement so when it finally does get the attack in on him, he can use his boots of Thranduil to run up its trunk or run up whatever part of its body presents itself and get onto the top of its head.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll attack you, and then you can make an acrobatics check.
Okay. Can I...
You can dodge as bonus, right? If you're a rogue. Or no, that's monks, is it?
No, that's a monk.
Yeah.
But can I dodge? I think dodge gives you advantage. Can I use a dex save instead of
Being attacked?
acrobatics?
Yes, sure.
So I'll be using dodge. He can attack me, and we'll see if I survive.
It's a 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
Plural.
It's 40 feet tall.
I know.
I'm using my I don't know what the damage is, but I'm using my uncanny dodge against the damage.
It's going to be 68 points of damage.
Yep. Well, with my uncanny dodge, that's halved.
Okay. Yeah, the tusk connects with you. You're able to dodge the worst of it, and so you're not flung 40 feet away, and you're able to like grab onto the tusk and begin to scale it.
Excellent. So I run up. Well, I sort of first of all drag, hold on, and then sort of once he reaches the end of his swing and the swing starts slowing down, then I sort of get my balance and run up to get onto its head, and start attaching the end of my grappling hook, the grappling rope, to anything that I can see on its head.
Okay. Yep, I think you could probably like swing it around one of the tusks at the very least.
Okay, yep, that's what I'll do. I'll try and get a secure sort of base of the grappling hook as it's charging in the direction, hopefully, of the Nazgul and the wing, and the winged beast.
Lindare. Camel the Easterling has risen from the pile that is now what's left of the fell beast. You can see that one of its wings is badly broken, and it's sort of like squealing and screaming, this like grey mass of scales. But Camel has, as if he's made of smoke, materialized, and looks toward you.
He's got tunnel vision, and he's watching every movement of this foe as he paces towards them, hefting the spear that he's just picked up in his hand, and he has his new sword upon his back. And how far away?
One cinematic movement.
One cinematic movement. Excellent. So yeah. Sizing him up as he approaches, I think his steps begin to quicken, and he builds into a charge, spear in hand. And he, with a cry of "Anariel," he crashes into this ancient foe, but mechanically he'll take the dodge action.
Okay. All right. The list. Noriel.
Anariel, on horseback with Feroth, is watching over her shoulder as Glendair fights this Nazgul, one of the ring wraiths. As she hears her name, and she calls his out in response. But there's nothing she can do from here.
At the end of your turn, Camo the Easterling will take a legendary action and will mark you for death. Glendaire, he will say, "You come with me." I need you to make a wisdom save.
Not good.
You do not have advantage.
No. 6.
You are vulnerable to necrotic damage.
Oh,
Oof.
that sounds bad.
It's bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The Easterling does not walk. It vanishes into smoke and reappears by you. And you notice that it doesn't have any... doesn't feel like it's there. There's no weight to its presence, and there's no smell or even a feeling that it's there, but you can see it. And it's going to attack you. You're dodging though, right?
Correct.
And the first strike goes wide as you duck to the side of the spear. Second is a 23.
That'll hit.
Third is a 14.
Miss, yeah.
We 40 necrotic damage.
Okay, because that's already doubled.
That's already doubled, yeah.
Okay, yeah. A blow that Glendaire has not felt in a long time. Usually this is training, and this battle fury sees him resisting a lot of blows, but this strikes hard.
That's the
And
end
he
of
fights on.
end of its turn. Golden Hair has retreated. Farath, anything you want to do? Nope.
Sorry. Yeah, he's just got this awful feeling just burning inside him. Another foe lost to them, another friend lost to them from the Nazgul is something that's just in his mind. But he can't break now. This is what Glendaire wanted, is what he's trying to convince himself of as he presses harder to make good on the escape he is providing us with.
Queen Morwenna is with you and calling as well. To Isengard! Baragon, can you make me an animal handling check?
Probably not. He's not particularly trying to handle the animal or control it.
Just point it in the right direction, I suppose.
No, I can't.
Okay.
But go on.
I just rolled a percentile to see which direction it's going. It's 75% chance it's going the right way, and it is. Because I think it's already going that way, and you have the tusk on it, so I think you can like pull a little bit here and there. There's no reason for it to go any other direction at the moment, so it continues to move in the right direction. Glendaire, you can feel. Yeah, it's going to be your turn. But you can feel, Glendaire, this like thunderous approach. And now it's your turn, Baragon.
Over the sort of in amongst the din of battle and the bellowing of the Mamakil and the screaming and panic of everything, a voice in Quenya starts. Sindarin starts. You hear a voice in Sindarin singing out. Gil-galad was an elven king, of him the harpers sadly sing. the last whose realm was fair and free, between the mountains and the sea. And as the voice builds up, so does the light shining out from the top of the elephant, as Beragon holds aloft the bow of Gil-galad, and he's trying to blind the elephant and any other sun. Well, actually, it's sun-sensitive monster, so I don't know if it'll have an effect on the elephant, but it'll probably confuse it anyway.
Definitely.
The light of Gil-galad is a DC 14 Wisdom save.
The elephant fails, so it's definitely confused. I'm going to make Camel roll with disadvantage because all things that he's afraid of, it's elven light.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1. Okay. That's good news for you, Glyndare.
And also, can you do it for the fell beast?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it has disadvantage as well. It also fails. It's writhing around on the ground anyway with a broken wing, but it sort of now moves one of its wings to hide its face from the light.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay, at the end of your turn, Beragond, the Easterling is going to shriek in response to the light. Glyndare, can you make me a wisdom save, please?
Or
Not great. So you are afraid of Camel and take 3 psychic damage. And you move down the corruption track. Then it's your turn. I'm going to give you advantage on attacks because he is blinded.
Okay. But that cancels out the fear that I have currently, right? Or that would be cancelled out by it. Yeah, okay. So. Yeah, having been struck by this horrible blow, what weapon does he hold?
He has a spear in one hand and a Morgul blade in the other.
Reeling from the strike, and the weight of this countless centuries of this being crashing down upon Glyndare. He feels a deep, profound fear and reluctance to. His mind is just screaming in an Ariel's voice, "Glyndare, you must flee, flee!" But he stands firm against it. He will not flee, but he struggles to bring himself forward towards the foe. But yet he still does, and he'll strike. And amidst the blows, he'll be saying, "Too many of my kin have you claimed through the ages. You've tried to claim me before, and you were repelled. Go, try, throw your terrible might against me and see what you wreak." And that'll be a dirty 20 to hit. That'll be 10 damage.
Okay.
And then the second attack will be a 22 to hit.
Yep.
For 10 damage.
Okay. That was there. At the end of your turn, it will use its last legendary action to strike at you. But it misses. Nariel. I'm gonna keep going to you guys. I don't know if like you don't want to keep saying we're just moving. I know it's hard already. But I don't know if you want to keep having to say we continue to not help. Like, I understand that too.
I think this time Anariel has pulled on Feroth's arm. We should not have left.
We cannot return. It is your brother's sworn intent to face that thing and buy us time to escape, and I will not lead you back into danger against his wishes. Like, he's shouting this as they're galloping like as hard as they can away, so...
Yeah. Anariel's heart wants to return, but her head knows the truth of those words. And she will not jump off the back of the horse.
Camel Eastling, the sword vanishes from his hand, and his hand seems to reach into you. Can you make me a con save, Glyndare?
Oof. Rolling well on my saves today. That will be 13.
You are going to take doubled. I think you're going to die. 2 times 47 necrotic damage.
Oof, yeah, that will definitely do it. I'm on 27 and my max HP is 95. So yeah, that's like 92 is double that. So
Reaches
what
inside you, and you can feel this like terrible cold within you, this like disconnect from the world around you. The hand is like within you, though it's not. There's nothing physical there, but you can feel that something has reached within, and it drains you of your life.
As the hand is in his chest, he leans in and grabs this creature behind the head and pulls him in close and says, as the life drains from him, "Strike me down and our ranks will swell against the blow. The very light of the Eldar come to right your ruin once and for all." And then, with those words, the light of the Eldar leaves Glyndare once and for all.
There's a cackle from the Nazgul, and something strange happens. He like reaches down as Glendare's body falls. Though I think the only one to see it maybe is Beregond. It's seemingly unaware of the threat that's coming until it's too late, and there is a trumpeting and a thunder, and with a swish of the tusks, Kamul is launched towards Helm's Deep. The last thing that those of you who are fleeing see. Beregond, do you intend to stay on the Momokill, or do you intend to get back to Isengard?
Beregond's plan is at the end of that round, when it's his moment, is to launch the grappling hook at the winged beast. So the winged beast is trapped to a blinded, charging Mammokill and is dragged away wherever. And this should win us enough time. And then he's getting out of there and finding, joining the fleeing. But he's trying to get rid of the flying pursuit by harnessing it to a Mammokill.
Just make me a ranged attack then with the grappling hook.
Okay. He gets it should be all right. In fact, it's I don't know if I have proficiency, but even so, it's a 24.
Yeah. So you throw the grappling hook and it wraps around the neck of this the long neck of this creature, and then it keeps running, and there's like a sudden, the rope goes taut and the thing is dragged behind the elephant. It's like screeching and trying to fly with one wing and attacking at the elephant, which is swinging at it. And there is chaos as you climb down the side of this thing and you can grab a horse and move your way towards Isengard.
And if I can, I'll pick up the body of Glyndare.
Yeah. You can do so. And so rushing back to Isengard, a victory by almost all accounts, though maybe not one on a personal level. You saved Rohan and most of your army as you return to Isengard. We see atop one of the mountains in Gondor where the beacons are, that some soldiers are staring down, watching an endless snake of black orcs moving towards Rohan and into it. And we see the ruins of Edoras, where some Rohirrim are working to try and rebuild the Golden Hall. But again, this column of orcs and trolls and other foul creatures are moving ever closer to Isengard. And that's where we're going to end it today.